Hello there, everyone. Thank you for joining us to celebrate International Women's Day. We're going to join the women around the world in coming together under the theme Gender Equality Today for Sustainable Tomorrow. This is a call for climate action for women by women. And for today's presentation, we also have a gentleman who's going to join us in today's celebration. I was reviewing all the things that we were going to talk about today, and I came across this video that I saw a couple of years ago. It's by a feminine products commercial, but it asks the girls who are around teenagers and boys to run like a girl, hit like a girl. And all of them had combination of things that they kind of built up. Running like a girl meant something weak in their communities. And then they went to a younger group, asking younger girls, younger boys, perhaps around 10 years old and below, to run like a girl, and also asked them what that meant. And the girls responded, it meant to run as fast as I could. And so as we grew up, perhaps there are different ways that we learn to be less confident or things that have happened. But I think it's platforms like this to help us realize and understand the values of both genders, of all of the people, and all of the equalities that should go on, all the equalities that we need to promote for gender equality or equality in general for today and a sustainable tomorrow. So we're very excited to have a panel today, starting with a few special videos. First is a video that was sent by His Excellency Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, under Dr. Hong's invitation. This is the special message that we received. Please enjoy.
On International Women's Day, we celebrate women and girls everywhere. We celebrate their contributions to ending the COVID-19 pandemic. Their ideas, innovations, and activism that are changing our world for the better, and their leadership across all walks of life. But we also recognize that in too many areas, the clock on women's rights is moving backwards. The pandemic has kept girls and women out of schools and workplaces. They face rising poverty and rising violence. They do the vast majority of the world's unpaid but essential care work. They are targets of violence and abuse just because of their gender. In all countries, women are scandalously underrepresented in the halls of power and the boardrooms of business. And as this year theme reminds us, they bear the brunt of climate change and environmental degradation. Starting now on International Women's Day, it's time to turn the clock forward for every woman and girl. Through guaranteeing quality education for every girl, so they can build the lives they want and help make the world a better place for us all. Through massive investments in women's training and decent work. Through effective action to end gender-based violence. Through bold action to protect our planet. Through universal care that is fully integrated into social protection systems. And through targeted measures like gender quotas, so we can all benefit from women's ideas, experience, and leadership everywhere decisions are made. Gender inequality is essentially a question of power in a male-dominated world and a male-dominated culture. And power relations must be reversed. So, at the United Nations, we have achieved gender parity in senior management at headquarters and around the world. Improving our work and better representing the communities we serve.
Today, human rights that are coming from individuals.
We need more women, environment ministers, business leaders, and presidents and prime ministers. They can push countries to address the climate crisis, develop green jobs, and build a more just and sustainable world. We cannot emerge from the pandemic with the clock spinning backwards on gender equality. We need to turn the clock forward on women's rights. The time is now.
Thank you for the special message. And I agree. The sentence that caught me was bold actions to protect our planet. So what are the things that we can do? And I think it's very important to have respect for ourselves, have confidence, and also respect others' right to share their thoughts. And together we can form an alliance. Together we can build and kind of fill the different corners and creativities to make the world a better place. And so for today's special celebration, Dr. Hong has also prepared a message to share with all of us. Let's welcome the video message from Dr. Hong Daozi, President of the Federation of World Peace and Love.
Distinguished guests, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, good day. International Women's Day is observed annually on March 8th to celebrate the important contributions of women in the economic, political, and social spheres. International Women's Day began in the early 20th century as a labor movement, beginning with the bread and roses strike of women workers fighting for economic security and quality of life, and evolving into the women's movement for equal rights in education, work, elections, and gender equality. To date, women's rights and freedoms have advanced in most parts of the world. International Women's Day is an opportunity to show respect and love to women all over the world, to thank them for their extraordinary courage and determination in shaping the development of their countries and communities, as well as to call for change, hoping to promote and universalize the well-being of more women by building on past accomplishments. The theme of this year's International Women's Day is Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow, reflecting the leading role of women and girls around the world in adapting, mitigating, and responding to climate change in order to build a more robust and sustainable future. This is in line with the priority theme of the 66th session of the Commission on the Status of Women, which is achieving gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls in the context of climate change, environment, and disaster risk reduction policies and programs. The power of women is often overlooked, but it is often women who stand up for change. They are powerful leaders and change makers in adapting to and mitigating climate change. For example, marine biologist Rachel Carson, in her book Silent Spring, awakened a higher social conscience and launched the modern environmental movement. Ms. Wangari Maathai, a Nobel Peace Prize laureate and the founder of Kenya's Green Belt movement, provided job opportunities for hundreds of thousands of people while protecting Kenya's ecological environment. Women are involved in sustainable development initiatives around the world, and their participation and leadership has led to more effective action. To overcome adversity and turn the corner in these crisis-ridden times, global citizens must work together to learn from women's courage, perseverance, patience, and endless love for the world. Goal 5 of the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals is achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. Gender equality is about understanding, tolerance, and respect from the heart. Each person's basic human rights are natural endowments, which should be respected, protected, and jointly defended, and everyone should be treated the way you want to be treated. This is similar to what Confucius said, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." Sustainable development cannot be achieved without equality. Any kind of inequality, unfairness, or injustice will hinder the progress of society as a whole. In the face of the challenges of natural and man-made disasters, the pandemic and wars around the world today, not only do women adopt the role of caregivers, bearing the brunt of the burdens, but also children, the elderly, men, and everyone else. The change and development of the world situation depends on the actions and beliefs of all human beings, and every citizen of the world should take practical actions to help the world move toward good development. When we listen to the call of our conscience deep inside our hearts, we can empower ourselves, inspiring ourselves and others with compassion, empathy, and kindness. When we are willing to let go of our self-interest, face ourselves and the world with a sincere heart, and listen to our conscience's call for respect, fairness, tolerance, rationality, and love, the rich diversity of races, genders, religions, and cultures will become a fertile ground for triggering and promoting healthy development. As citizens of the world, we need to unite to encourage one another to do good, to work together for justice, and to speak out for those who have no voice. When all injustices are corrected and improved, peace, tolerance, and harmony can be achieved in society. International Women's Day is a time for all of us to celebrate our achievements and think ahead about what we can do to further equality, freedom, human rights, and all forms of justice. We shall act on our love and conscience and treat everyone with respect and understanding. Equality begins with the power of action from the heart, and sustainability is the sum of each individual's efforts. By following the light of conscience, we will be able to build a more peaceful, harmonious, and sustainable future for the residents of the planet and all creations. May everyone be blessed with health and happiness. May people follow their conscience and do more good deeds to stay safe.
Distinguished Dr. Hong Tao Tsei. Allow me to join you and the Federation of World Peace and Love in your intention to celebrate the 8th March, International Women's Day. The role of women in our contemporary world society is irreplaceable. Their leadership, activism, vision, and stance through the past and present times in creating a sustainable, conscious, peaceful and democratic, and developed world are crucial. But there is always room for improvement. In that regard, we don't need to be women's spokespersons. They articulate their stances on every matter clearly and precisely. We need to support women all around the globe in their strivings for their voices to be heard more. Unfortunately, a lot of societies still underestimate the importance of equality between men and women, undermine women's right to express their concerns and opinions on the future of our global community, restricting them to be active in defining the next steps. Women's leadership has shown us numerous times that their vision of solving open and outstanding issues is crucial in determining the solution. We need more women as leaders, and we need to do whatever it takes to provide them with the opportunity. I am sure that humanity won't be disappointed. The best way to congratulate this special day is not just by verifying what women deserve but to work forcefully and devotedly to improving their position by taking concrete actions. I am sure that the FAUPL and your team will find ways to raise awareness of the importance of opportunities for women. Please, receive your Excellency, assurances of my highest consideration, and best regards.
Thank you, Dr. Hong. And as mentioned, as world citizens, we need to unite and encourage each other to do good, work together for justice, and speak out for those who have no voice. And that is exactly what our speakers who have joined us today are going to do. And so with all of our efforts, it can be very powerful, like the butterfly effect. So here I'd like to invite all of you to join me in welcoming our panelists today. They will be sharing with us their thoughts on this celebration, how we can further promote equality around the world. And then they were actually prompted with two things they might elaborate and thought of their own perspectives. But we can talk about how we can empower women and girls to foster gender equality for a sustainable tomorrow, or if there was a woman or girl they'd like to recognize whose efforts have brought inspiration or positive change in the world. And so we look forward to their thoughts on today's celebration. And first, we'd like to welcome each one of them for a brief introduction, maybe around 1 minute, so our viewers can get to know who you are. And let's start with, we have Ms. Preeti Patella. Welcome. Hi there. You can unmute and then share with us a little bit about yourself.
First of all, it is good evening from India. It's evening time. Namaste to all of you. I am senior educator, headmistress at Venkateshwar Global School. I am MI expert, Microsoft certified educator, Adobe education leader, the global ambassador for All India Educators Forum, and global ambassador for 21st Digi Skills. So happy to be here amongst all of you, talking upon such sensitive topic that we have today on fostering our gender equality so that we have a sustainable future tomorrow for the women all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction and welcome. And next, we'd like to say hello to Dr. Kujit Upal. Hi.
Hi. Nice to see you, Judy, one more time. Namaste and warm greetings from India one more time after Preeti. At the very outset, I'd like to firstly wish everyone a happy International Women's Day. I'm Dr. Kuljit Uppal, as Judy said, and I'm the world's first image scientist. My work is in the area of strategic self-management and creating an impact through the authentic representation of yourself such that you build and amplify your inner, outer, and your social self, your life skills, your persona and image management to be able to be a powerful and incredible version of yourself. I've researched and created the science of PRIM, as well as created innovative concepts like PRIM, DPRIM, Premier, PRIMPACT Integrated Transformational Model, Tilsom Framework, and of course, PIQ, which is the world's first persona and image quotient. And I'm blessed to have been honored with several national and international awards for excellence in innovation, education, and social impact. I'm also an impact strategist, an author, an educationist, creative director, an aviator, and an entrepreneur. My book, Prim and Powerful, the world's first book on Prim, helps individuals to become a more confident, self-reliant, and powerful and incredible version of themselves. And it's also in line with our Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, or self-reliant India. As an advisor and office bearer of multiple women organizations around the world, as well as being the national president of the Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry for Life Skills, and the All India Chairperson for Image Management, I work towards bringing about policies and creating a robust ecosystem for the empowerment of youth and women. And lastly, I'm on a personal mission to make a positive difference to the persona and image of at least 1 million people and also enhance their life skills across the globe. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Upal. She always has very interesting stories to share. Remember one of the sessions she talked about growing up and the challenges that she was faced with, but overcame and is as amazing as she is today. So thank you for joining us in that intro. And next, we'd like to say hello to Mr. Peter Jam. Hi there.
Hello, hello. How are you today? such a beautiful day today in Philadelphia. You see from my window, I get some sunshine for today. It's a beautiful day for women's rights, and I'm so glad and humbled, and also have the honor to represent the male content of the entire world in in this conference, because I'm the only gentleman here, right? So yeah, I'm Peter Jam, originally Lebanese and Armenian. I'm right now in the United States. I'm a musical artist, a music composer, and also an activist that I went all around the world singing my peace song, If You Want. So after that, I got the peace ambassadorship, and I delivered many speeches in the UN Parliament in Vienna, and also UN headquarters here in New York City. And since then, I've been doing lots of initiatives for peace building. And recently, I got also graduated to become an officially certified human rights consultant. So a part of all of these things, my love for animals and animal rights were so active when I was working in Germany for a few years for animal rights. And I have also studied and became a pet psychologist and animal behaviorist. And I have a company called Magic Dogs, which treats animal behaviors and trains dogs, which this week is the anniversary of Magic Dogs, my company here. So apart from all of these, I try to combine all my experiences throughout the world to bring forth the importance of culture. Every culture coming next to each other is like the beautiful rainbow coming next to each other. But today we're going to talk about women. And every year I was also being invited as Ambassador for Peace to go to the UN headquarters to the CSW, Commission on the Status of Women, to talk about gender equality and women empowerment. And sometimes I get surprised that we are in 2020, 2022, 2025, and we are still talking about these things which would have been done before 100 years or 50 years or 20 years or 30 years, and we are still wanting to go on the equality. But today I want to talk also later on about equity, to give some women also more than men. As a man, I'm telling this because lots of skillful women today around the world that I see, and I'm going to talk about whenever I get the chance, that they deserve not just as men, but they deserve even so much more than men in the society to be appreciated and being also great leaders. And I'm going to tell you some of my inspirations as women leaders to make me as the person I am. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Peter. We look forward to that. And as Peter mentioned, each of the speakers will have about 5 minutes to present their thoughts later. And hopefully we have some time at the end if you want to bounce off of someone else's idea. We'll go as we see. So welcome, Peter, and congratulations on the anniversary. And next, we'd like to say hello to Monia. Hi there.
Hello, hello. Happy Women's Day to all of you. I am so happy to join you from Tunisia. Really, I am so excited. I am a computer science teacher. I am a leading teacher of Europe Code Week in my country. I am a Wakelet ambassador. I am a TweetMeet co-host and alumni. I am also eTwinning ambassador. I am a global connected educator. And since many years, I celebrate Women's Day with my students. And this is a special celebration with you. So happy to join and meet all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome. And I know we have new friends, old friends, and it's great that we're all sharing and congregating on our positive energy. So welcome. And next, we'd like to say hello to Ms. Bandana. Hi there.
Hello, Judy. Namaste from India again. Here, the weather is a bit cloudy today. I saw that it was very sunny in Philadelphia. So, okay. Happy Women's Day to everyone, all the beautiful ladies out here. So I'll just introduce myself. My name is Vandana, as you all know, and I am co-founder of Rolling Nature and Initiative Earth India. I'm an entrepreneur, a botanist, a plant-holic, a blogger, a humanitarian, and an active environmentalist as of now. I started my first community environmental campaign in 2002 and have worked in e-learning companies in India and Singapore before I started my brand, Rolling Nature. So under my guidance, Rolling Nature have been running environmental campaigns in line with United Nations Environment Program, World Environment Day themes each year. And to work proactively and collectively for Mother Earth, I also launched Initiative Earth. And during COVID first and second wave, we have worked for people in need at local and national level. This is some social work that we do. And I'm also actively involved with Warrior Moms Initiative, which focuses on climate change, and also associated with orphanage, Sparsh Balgram, which is a shelter for HIV infected children. So that's about me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Vandana. I don't know how our viewers feel, but I'm very excited. We have people who are from all over the world working on different things, and this is what the world needs, all of our positive energy. So thank you, Ms. Vandana. And next, we'd like to say hello to another pretty, Miss Pretty Kentucky. Hi.
Hello, good evening, namaste from India. Myself Preeti Vilasrao Kanthake. I'm a primary educator from Jilla Parishad High School, Vishnupuri, and I would like to wish each and every woman a very happy International Women's Day. And today we are gathered here to celebrate International Women's Day in a different way, with the discussion of some a beautiful subject which is very close to my heart, because I am a big sister of four younger sisters, as well as I have 15 years of experience in teaching in girls' school. So that's why I always empower each and every girl around me, and I saw what they really need and what they really want in their life. So thank you so much, and I would love to go with the flow. And next, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Preeti, and welcome. And I know you have your thoughts on this topic, and we look forward to that. So thank you. And next, we'd like to say hello to Asma. Hi there.
Hello from Pakistan, and thank you so much for having me. And yes, it's been wonderful to with all amazing empowered women from the globe. And myself, as you said, I am Asma Turkham, a senior program manager at AR Brother in corporate firm. I'm health psychologist and founder of Turkham Foundation. In 2010, I started volunteering myself. It was a badly flood which hit my country, south part of the country. I volunteered there, and since then I started volunteering my time partially. And later on, I thought, why not to devote myself for that cause? So since then, now I'm advocating SDGs, SDG 3, health and wellness, SDG 5, gender equality, and I think that's the date under that theme we are celebrating, and SDG 13, clean environment. So under that theme, I took few initiatives. I planted trees, a lot of many trees from my own pocket and from the donation of my, I collected from my friends and family. And so far, the grown-up trees are more than 6,000. And I delivered different sessions on gender equality and mental health and emotional well-being with students of school to college to university. And so far, I have delivered more than 1,800 sessions from last couple of years. And 83 sections and workshops have specifically been delivered online during COVID. And just in pandemic, I have provided counseling services to more than 500 individuals in 2020. Just so, as a speaker, I address issues on mental health and emotional well-being, social justice for women and girls, and environmental issues in global community. So this is all about me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And you mentioned the mental health part, and I think it's very important. I'm sure many of the people around the world have been affected because of COVID, and I think one of the best things that have come out of the whole pandemic is the fact that we can speak to each other so quickly now through Zoom and all the different online platforms. So I'm very excited to get started with all of you and get your thoughts on gender equality. But for me, overall equality, as Peter mentioned, right? Why are we still talking about this? But there are still people around the world who maybe perhaps don't have that voice. So hopefully through this platform, we can hear some of your thoughts, how we can further promote and so we're excited for this panel. And last but not least, we like to say hello to Her Excellency, Mrs. Roxana de los Santos de Piantini. And I personally met Her Excellency a few years back in Vienna, where she rang the bell of world peace and love in the Full House Summit, made a beautiful wish, and she's here with us to say hello. Hi there.
Hello, Judy. Hello, Judy. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Like to say hello to you.
I'm very happy to have the opportunity of being here with you, and with all those beautiful ladies. And there is a man also sharing with us such a beautiful day, as it is the International Day, Woman Day. My name is Roxana de los Santos. I have been introduced in this forum before, so I am not going to be so longer. And I am Deputy Ambassador to the United Nations of the Dominican Republic in Vienna. My specialization, I am a lawyer, but my specialization is in international commerce, WTO law, and UNCITRAL law. But I want to tell you something. The topic today I love very much. Since I was very young, I made my first thesis in the situation of political, economical, and judicial issues related women in my country, 2020. So for me, sharing with you today is a great place. I am very happy to have this opportunity. I would like to thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for joining us. And I remember last time you had the opportunity to join us that you had to break through of the barriers of people telling you, no, don't go further, just, do your thing, be your girl. But you persisted and we went after what you wanted to do. And here we have Her Excellency doing all the great things around the world. So thank you once again for joining us. And we look forward to your thoughts with us as well. So thank you. And so now the topic of women and girls. So how can we empower women and girls? Or is there someone you like to recognize? What are your thoughts on this? First, let's welcome Ms. Priti Putela. Hi.
Hi again. Yeah, so while I was just thinking about this wonderful, powerful topic that we are going to discuss today. So one thing that really impressed me, that the women today, they have not only been role models for women. If I talk about, name a few, Kalpana Chawla, Mary Kom, and there are so many women that we know today. They are the role models not only for the females, they are the role models for the men as well. So now the thing that comes to us is how to empower them. So it is, if we empower our women with a lot of courage, if we have policies in place where they are not getting their rights, we should give them their rights so that they are able to grab the opportunity available to them and move higher. There is no looking back. So first and foremost thing that we have to do is infuse courage, empower our females in whichever part of the world. We have seen such beautiful videos that came across, that how COVID has brought many girls out of their schools, how much violence was there for them. So when we are talking about the females, we cannot talk about a few. Yes, a few have been role models for all. But when we are talking for the community at large, when we are talking about the women at global level, so we have to see women at all the levels. What all is happening all around, how we can really help the women, to come out of their shell and speak up for themselves. I mean, the discrimination that is happening, to remove the stereotype, to come out of the biases that have been, time immemorial. We have seen that gone are the days when it was that the girls are going to play with the dolls only, the boys are going to make the bridges, they'll be the engineers. So this stereotype has to go. I mean, it has to just finish. It has to go away from the society. And this is what empowerment the society is looking for. So this is a very powerful viewpoint, that will we be able to do it? It is our, the gender equality, it is our sustainable goal number 5, wherein the UN believes that we will achieve all this by 2030. We all are at it. All of us are really looking forward to it, that we should have our, we should strengthen our women. And I totally believe in this, and I'm sure the panelists here with me would also believe in this, that we need to strengthen our women, and that can only be done if the policies are in place. If our women are courageous, if they are encouraged every now and then to take up the first step that is little difficult to move ahead, then it is no stopping them. There is no stopping. It is the first push that the women need, and they are able to achieve whatever they want to. I again repeat that we are so much impressed with these women all around us, Kalpana Chawla to name about, the Indira Nui to name about, and I had these 2-3 names, and I am so wanted to, yes, Malala and Mary Kom. The list is endless. The list is endless. So let us all encourage and infuse courage in our females so that they come out as winners. So one song that comes to my mind when I talk about courage to the women. It takes courage to answer a call. It takes courage to risk your all. It takes courage to risk your name. It takes courage to be true. It takes courage to say what no other will dare, to be standing alone, one whom no one will own, to be ready to stick for another man's sake. It takes courage to be true. Let us be true. Let us be kind. Let us be empathetic. Let us feel whatever injustice is happening around us. Let us raise our voice. Let us encourage and empower our ladies all around, the women all around, so that they have a sustainable tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Preeti. Wonderful singing. Thank you for sharing that with us. It does take courage from all of us. And as we mentioned before on this platform, the idea of the voice from within giving us the love, the courage, the conscience is so important. That's why these beautiful messages are important for us, because it's coming from the deepest part of our hearts, wanting to help the world become a better place. So thank you for your message. And next, we'd like to welcome Her Excellency Roxana for your thoughts on today's topic. What are your thoughts? What do you think?
Thank you, Judy. How can we empower women and girls for fostering gender equality for a sustainable tomorrow? This is a very good question, taking in consideration the social development. And if we go through the World Women 2015 report, we will find that women are still today very behind to men. Still, there is a gender inequality. The majority of the poor people are women. Ladies have less access to social service in the world. In many countries, the right to inherit is reserved only for men. Also, the right for vote and be vote for eligible political position are not the same for women and for men. Women are victims of child marriage. They marry women very young sometimes, and it's not good. Sexual violence and sexual exploitation. The only fact of warning women sometimes is a risk taking into consideration domestic violence all around the world. So we need to work to reverse all those facts. All women need to be in a position of having political and civil rights, enjoy equality of gender. So we need to empower the women of the world. Two-thirds of the world women are illiterate. The women around the world, and particular rural area, have been exposed to a social and economic vulnerability and inherit social culture very behind, including, in some cases, the hardship of this economy. We can help building institutions, infrastructure, and policies to promote gender equality, including plan of action to implement the social political equality among men and girls for the development. It is good for the government creating legal and policies framework in which women and men have the same rights and obligations. Creating women empowerment program through social program also, starting entrepreneur program and helping women to have a successful business will build independence on her. Every woman must be powered in information to make her own decision of life. I took in consideration the most important is education. If we can help a woman empowering in education, that will be the big difference. With education, not only very high level, but also basic and middle level. We can have a small entrepreneur and teach them how to do different things. It can be manual things, but something will help anyway. And because when women have the opportunity of do something by themselves, is very good in economic. Having the opportunity to raise children and to take care of the house on time when they don't have husband. For example, when they are single mother. That's why this is one of the very good projects we have to think about for empowering women. The education is almost everything in the world, and it made a big difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Roxana. Agree for education is a big thing. And I know, as I mentioned from your story before, that you really was determined, made sure I want to go to school and I'm going to do this, even though I believe you said you were already married then, right? When you pursued. So I think thank you for sharing that story last time. And also, of course, today to stress the importance of education and sharing that with everyone, and perhaps in places where it's not thought as important, could realize from your own personal story and then your stories today that it is very powerful to have to give equal opportunities, even from, I think, from the mindset thinking that we are all equal is the first step to providing these things or pushing for these things. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts today. And I'm actually looking forward to hearing Dr. Upal, how you think about all of this. What are your thoughts? And I know you're also a very powerful woman who went through many different things in life to get to where you are now. What are your thoughts?
Thanks, Judy. Yes. One more time, happy International Women's Day for all the people who may have just joined now. This is a day to celebrate women and our evolution, the acts of determination, courage, and perseverance and persistence by ordinary women who have played an extraordinary role in the history of their communities and countries. So firstly, cheers to all of us and every woman on this planet for her beautiful metamorphosis and evolution. Secondly, cheers to all the people who've unconditionally supported her journey and stood by her selflessly. Now, coming to the topic, when we look at gender equality, and I want to compliment both Preeti and her Excellency for their points. I think they were brilliant points that they brought up. So I'm just going to go on a slightly different dimension. So when we look at gender equality, the truth is that the world has made unprecedented advances over the years, and we're all still working on it, as I think Peter shared in his introduction. But there is a long way to go, and we're far from having achieved gender equality. But like I said, the good news is that we are all persevering towards it. The United Nations has suggested 12 simple and effective actions that we can take for the greater, impetus towards gender equality. And I completely resonate with them. So what I'd like to do is actually just go past them in a nutshell from my perspective. Firstly, share the care. It's a known fact that women take on at least 3 times more unpaid care and domestic work than men. That's the time and energy taken away from women to advance their careers, earn more money, and enjoy leisure activities. So what we can do firstly is to show that we care, whether we are men or women, regardless. Commit to evenly sharing household chores, parenting responsibilities, and other domestic responsibilities. If one partner works full-time in the home, then recognize and acknowledge the value of that labor that they put in. Another action could be call out sexism and harassment. It's a known fact that women are faced with all kinds of sexist and disrespectful behavior in public and private places on a daily basis, be it catcalling or inappropriate sexual jokes and mansplaining. You can be active by disrupting the status quo and challenging your peers. You can call out any inappropriate behavior in a safe and respectable way, of course, and challenge any stereotypical notions of gender, like, a woman should definitely know her place, or, things like that. You can engage in open dialogue and conversation. You could also learn the facts and figures and be better equipped to eloquently slash any wrong information or misinformation that people may have against women. And if you witness harassment of a woman, then speak up and step up. Get the help of others if need be, and so that the person doesn't feel unsafe. Take the time to listen to the survivor and ask how you can support her. Another action could be rejecting the binary, which I think one of them has mentioned, or I think Preeti mentioned it earlier. Everyday language plays a huge role in breaking the gender stereotypes and rejecting the binary of male and female. For example, it's not mankind, it's humankind. That apart, terms like male or female and women or men also, that's another perspective. We exclude diverse gender identities, we do so. or sexual orientations that exist in every culture and country. So that in itself is also not very fair. Another action is the demand on an equal culture. Women face many discriminatory practices when it comes to the workplace, from sexual harassment to the gender wage gap, lack of opportunity, etc. So if we want a progressive work environment, we need to have equal representation of women in leadership and boardrooms, equal pay for work of equal value, and education on gender equality. Many women also make a significant professional part of sacrifice, if I may say, to have a family, which obviously impacts their economic and personal well-being. The probable way out is unified parental leave policies that offer adequate paid leave to both biological or adoptive parents. It's also important to encourage fathers to take on the role of caretaking of the child. That apart, reintegration programs at work can be initiated to help women catch up on the training that they may have lost while they're, in the parenting mode and things like that. So we should try and make professional life easier for mothers, give them facilities like breastfeeding rooms or flexible work hours or, quality and affordable childcare services in the vicinity of their workplace premises. Another action would be exercise your political rights. Women continue to remain underrepresented in the highest political positions. I recall that as of 2020, women held around 25% of seats in national parliaments and accounted for less than 7% of the world leaders. And it hasn't changed much, unfortunately. It's very marginally changed. So what's the easiest, most direct way you can make a difference? Vote and consider voting for a woman. Another action, and interestingly, studies have shown that women around the world are disproportionately impacted by the effects of climate change, which often worsen existing gender inequalities, leaving women and girls prone to higher rates of violence, malnutrition, and much more. So we can all be a little more eco-friendly and save the environment to mitigate these impacts. Another action would be amplifying feminist books and movies, etc. The film and publishing industries remain heavily male-dominated, and popular narratives commonly portray women as single-dimensional characters or sex objects, or else they exclude them altogether. So movies, books, newspapers, podcasts, and other popular mediums have lasting effects on cultural perceptions of gender, offering women a powerful platform to share their stories and perspectives. So the next time you're browsing the bookstore or settling in for a movie, maybe you should try and consider something written or directed by a woman, and maybe for women. You never know. It might just kind of bring in a different kind of a set up in your mind. Another thing which is very important, and I strongly believe that, is teach the girls their worth. Girls are given a whole set of beliefs about their place, worth, and role in society as being dependent, vulnerable, or incapable, and are told often to act accordingly, reinforcing gender stereotypes and keeping girls from realizing their full potential. And this set of beliefs is internalized by them over years, even well before they have hit puberty. It's hard to kind of unlearn these kind of beliefs. That's why it's very important to start addressing them when they're young. We need to remind the girls in our lives that they are strong, capable, and deserving of the same respect as boys. We need to make sure that they know that it's more than just their appearance. Let's praise them for their intelligence, for their strength, for their leadership, for their athleticism, and so much more. Encourage girls to speak out and assert themselves. Let us also kind of counter the narratives that we have laid out and the language that discourage them to do so. They're not bold. Rather they are bold. They're not bossy. Very often I've seen people using these terms very loosely. Oh, she's very bossy, but she may not be bossy. She's just being bold. So I think the terminology shift will help, and we can show them that their thoughts matter by asking them their opinions and listening to them when they speak, And if you're a parent or a teacher, invest in toys, books, and movies that are gender neutral. Show the girls the possibilities of their potential and allow them to play with whatever they feel like. They don't have to go towards a doll if they choose to play with, let's say, a car. So let them kind of be encouraged to make their choices. Another thing is when you look at the men, for example, challenge what it means to be a man, as they say. Often the terminology where young boys are told, be a man, don't cry like a girl. Come on, man up. These traditional notions of masculinity often discourage boys and men later in life from openly communicating their feelings, whether in your friendships or relationships or within your family. Support expressions of masculinity that involve vulnerability, sensitivity, caretaking, and other traditionally non-masculine traits. Foster an environment where boys and men feel safe expressing their emotions. Let them know that their feelings are also valid and give them that opportunity to share. Don't mock or dismiss them and call out others who do. It will help them realize that they can respect women in a different manner altogether, because feelings of this kind, which are being pushed heavily into their heads, will kind of create a little imbalance in the way they look at women too. We have to be committed to a cause. There are so many gender equality groups and campaigns. We need to look for a topic that we care about and devote ourselves to it. Let's support it in our own way. Collective action will make a difference, definitely. Nothing is too small, no matter how small the size of that particular outfit is that you want to support. But I think it's time that we all start supporting as much as we can. Another very critical aspect is to challenge beauty standards. We often see a narrow, unrealistic vision of femininity in the name of beauty. Women are often expected to devote a lot of time, energy, and money on their appearance, as against their male counterparts. Every human body deserves celebration, regardless of size, ability, gender, or color. We need to rethink our beliefs on what it means to be beautiful. And let's respect the choices of others. We need to understand that every person has the right to take decisions about their well-being, their body, their family, their future. If their choices make you uncomfortable, ask yourself why, and probably examine the biases that may be actually driving your reaction. I think it's very important. It would be healthy to look at the circumstances that make their life different from yours. While it may be hard to understand a choice that you've never had to make, let's be good listeners to their reasoning and viewpoint. So I believe that all these actions that are spoken of are great ways to usher gender equality. And we do hope that through collective thought and action, we all achieve a global society that is socially conditioned with a great conscience-driven mindset towards equality for all. Thank you.
Thank you for that sharing. I love how you started with how can you support her, like the question we can all think to ourselves. And then it almost seems like in the beginning of these movements, I would say maybe for now, that we need to be we need to make a conscious effort that we're, empowering the girls, shifting our keywords, all of that. And like I said, as Peter mentioned, hopefully one day soon, we don't have to make such a big effort. It would be natural for us, but obviously we got to start somewhere. We got to really push for it. Be mindful in the beginning of the day that I'm going to, change the way I live a little bit and promote these changes that we wish to see. And I love the topic about men and women kind of rethinking our traditional roles. Basically think as a team, how can we support each other? So thank you for sharing, Dr. Upal, on your thoughts today. And as many of us also saw a new participant come in, I'd like to take this moment to welcome His Excellency Tijani Muhammad Bande, the permanent representative of Nigeria to the UN. Hello, sir. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much indeed. Sorry, I had to attend another meeting, but I just made sure that I join you to help celebrate with you and to also listen to great briefings about the role of women and gender more broadly in our world. And I think it's excellent for us to work together to ensure that equality is achieved in all aspects of life involving societies. And I'm here to listen, basically. Thank you indeed.
Thank you. And would this be a good time to invite you to share your thoughts on this day and how we can further promote equality throughout the world?
Indeed, I can reflect in 2 minutes. I think it's very important to appreciate that while progress has been made in relation to gender equality in almost all societies, very serious gaps still remain. At times, in fact, not very seen until you look very, very carefully. And to continue, first of all, to remind ourselves more broadly that women's rights are human rights. This is a fundamental starting point, and that not in any field can progress be made where one half of society is treated differently. In fact, given a raw deal on almost all matters, whether it is in relation to education in some settings, or in relation to employment or promotion, as well as in relation to being at the table where decisions are made. These are extremely important issues going forward. Beijing was a great moment, but we must continue to go beyond Beijing to look very closely at what needs to be done from kindergarten. And I am very glad I caught the last speaker showing how insidious these differences are created from early on, and what we need to do in terms of culture, literature, employment, promotion, to ensure that we go beyond talking to look at policies, and to also to look at how effective policies are, and to thereby make changes that would make the critical difference. It is an important day, but it is simply a marker. It is not just equality for today. It is really a marker to get us going forward, to ensure that we do all we can as individuals, as communities, as policymakers, as politicians, to guarantee equality in gender in all aspects of life. A great day for us. Happy International Women's Day to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It's wonderful to see our policymakers, our representatives like Roxana and His Excellency Mohammed Bande to be thinking of these and talking about these. So I know that all the women and girls, all the different individuals around the world are taken care of. So we appreciate you being here and having this conversation with all of us as we further promote equality around the world, starting today in celebration of women and girls. So thank you once again to Your Excellencies. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you indeed.
And next, we'd like to welcome the other gentleman. Peter, what are your thoughts on today's topic, and maybe some of the things that you've heard you like to bounce your ideas off of?
Yes. There are a few points that I want to make as I started with the word equity, not equality. So equality, we should have approached it long time ago. Now we have to explain about equity. What is equity? It's not about gender also. It can be racial. It can be whatever it is. Because in every in the United Nations, we used to sit down and do lots of live discussions about racial equality also, or other stuff. Also here in the United States, there is big issues. We know about that. So equity is just to treat human beings fairly, regardless of their gender, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of their color, regardless everything. Because as His Excellency was talking about women's rights is human rights. It is human rights. It is basic human rights, and we can go further from that point, from being as human rights, to go on treating fairly, and sometimes even looking at them as if I'm working something and a woman is working better than me, shouldn't the woman shouldn't get equally like me, should get better, should get more payment. So so I'm taking it a little bit further even, so more than the equality, which is looking also to the skills of the woman to go more than being equal, but being fair. Because I don't think if I'm delivering some work and I have a colleague that is delivering better than me, should only be equally paid like me, should be also paid more for her amazing work. And as I was doing a little video on Instagram, little reel, that I'm so humbled being in front of all these amazing women leaders right today in our discussion, and I'm learning lots of things also from them. I can bring forth also my inspirations, because I grew up in Lebanon, in Beirut, in Lebanon in the 80s, and there was a civil war there. And right now we see in Ukraine there is a war, and it brings me flashbacks how also Her Excellency was pointing out about the statistics and the reality of facts, that how in terms of wars and corruption and exploitation hits first for women, and I grew up in an environment that I saw that, and I can start also from my mother and my family, how much she suffered to make us grow up in the right way. And also right now I feel a lot with whatever I see from the images that we see all around the world from Ukraine, that like all these families, they are fleeing or getting hurt, and we see women and girls how much they are being affected from these things, and they are being also target of this. So this is also something to point out, especially that wars are still continuing, which is terrifying at this point. It's very terrible when we're always. I think about this when I do my speeches. I say before I was born, in the United Nations and elsewhere, we were speaking about this. Right now, as also Dr. Upal pointed out, that we have made unprecedented, let's say, modifications in many parts, but I guess we have a long way to go. And because I can also talk about in Lebanon, before I talk about some Armenian women also. In Lebanon, in the recent government, there is only one woman. So and before that maybe it was 2 or 3 or 4 in over 24 men. And this is terrible. this is literally terrible. This is as if treating women as if demeaning. This is something really hurtful for me, personally, when I see this. And I teach about human rights, and suddenly we see that we have the text in human rights, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that we teach. But when we come to our government, not only in Lebanon, also elsewhere, we see, these days, more than 50% should be women, not that less than 20%, 10%. So these days we should, because, ironically, we tried man leadership, and we have lots of wars, we have lots of corruptions. Let's give women the chance. Let's give the peace a chance. The song, all we are saying, give peace a chance. Let's give women the chance to rule the world. Let's see if we're gonna go worse or we're gonna get better. Then we can see, we can have an accountability in this. But before giving them the field to play in this game of world leadership, we cannot just judge from outside, and then just give them like little steps, So some of the also like role models around the world that we were talking about, Malala, we're talking about, I met, for example, a very inspiring lady in New York City, also in Beirut. She's Jumana Ruzek. She has a peace lights. She used to bring forth like people next to each other. There's also Miss Ghazarian from Jerusalem that she formed the YWCA in Armenia. There's another Armenian lady in also the Lebanese parliament, Miss Paula Yakubian, that she is also very inspiring because she came forward as a TV figure to become an MP in the so corrupted Lebanon right now, that the financial crisis are over the roof. But she was working without any parties, without being affiliated to any parties. She was working grassroots. Many times I see her with Facebook Live, just asking people to come and help, get together. So this is an inspiring figure for me. Between 128 people, that there is maybe 10, 15 women. This woman was like, for me, worth all the 100 people that are just sitting in their offices and they're just delivering speeches. And we see this one lady making like grassroots change on the ground. And there are lots of other names, you know. I met also amazing ladies in Yerevan, in Armenia, and still in the parliament, as we see, there is so much of a degrading numbers. You know, when we see only 20%, for me in 2020, 2022, it's 20% is very little. You know, it's very little to be women. So and last but not least, I want to talk about any transformation comes through laws from policymakers, and also we have to talk about values, because values and laws together, we can transform from inside and outside. Because if we just create laws, we have to enforce it by force, you know. And I don't really believe that only by force we can transform the society. But and also, if we just work on just very basic values and try to make it better, we need laws. We need strong laws to enforce this. And when we marry them together, we will bring forward some kind of education that is not only on papers. There is also in the hearts, in the souls, in the thinking of the new generation. And this is all about the new form of education should be within to outside. Because I always study about etymology of words. The word education comes from the word educo, like awaken within, like study within. So it's not something that just comes from outside knowledge or information or whatever. Something should awaken within you. So for example, when I was working with animal rights, I didn't give up eating meat because of my health reasons. I'm pretty healthy now. But when I saw the animals are being suffering, so something in my consciousness, we're talking about consciousness, right? So consciousness about empathy gave me this education that I'm not going to touch any meat anymore because this is connected to slaughter. So the same goes also for new policies to be made in different parliaments and also on the world level to bring forth women's rights, not just by words but by deeds, by actions, and empower women in a different way, that it's not going to be like man against woman. It's going to be like we complete each other. We don't compete against each other. So this is very important for me to bring forth an education which is based also on going into the culture, because values are connected to the culture, to the family, from the family to the society, and then goes to the policymakers, not the vice versa. So when we see we are bringing forth new laws, and as I said, in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, it's there, but nobody's implementing. Why? Because on the personal level, on the family level, on the cultural level, on the society level, still we see the old-fashioned values are being forced, which is all man-ruled and patriarchal way of ruling society, which right now it doesn't work anymore, because we see so many inspiring women leaders all around the world coming from different countries. And as we have social media now, we can see so easily, you know, going on. And here also there are many topics that I guess Dr. Gopal touched on most of them. One of them is also women objectification, which is very important also, that I want to bring forth, that when we talk about human rights, we're talking about humanity, about human. We're not talking about object. So if any human being is being treated as an object, there is a big problem in our mental health, in our values, in our cultural upbringing. So there is different way of also education that we should point on. And last but not least, I try to bring forth also the power of music, which is my own way of bringing to change, which is a very important way of touching the souls. As I was talking about, something should change within, right? The education. So I try to create songs and put it on my website and other mediums on social media, just to awaken within, and eventually to go into this consciousness that we are all interconnected together, and it's about interdependence, not just independence. We have to also go forth and study about interdependence and interrelation between all humanity, to not just dream but also implement on the ground, to see the big transformation. So thank you.
Thank you, Peter. And we've seen Peter's video messages and songs from previous events, and it's great to have you join us live today and to hear that, you know, you were able to, or you have been kind of brought back to your memories previously from the Civil War, but powerful energy that you've gathered from your experience to turn it into something else. And the EduCo idea is amazing. It's my first time hearing it. So thank you for sharing that thought with us. It's wonderful. I just saw a news yesterday that was a young Ukraine girl who was in the shelter and sang "Let It Go" for all of the people who were next to her. And you just see on her face this pureness, this innocence, but this power, this strength within her, and sincerely wish that the war can seriously end soon and not happen anywhere else, because no one deserves any suffering like that. So as mentioned, with social media, there's so much we can do. We can promote these values, these EduCo, this power, this strength, to have the values align with the policies that will be made, so we can enforce it better than, you know, the law enforcement, maybe with force. So we can all do it from our parts. And what you said actually reminded me of what Dr. Hong had mentioned before, that a good culture can lead to good education. And a good education can lead to good economy. So we can all foster this wonderful culture. So thank you for sharing that with us, Peter. And we look forward to more music from you in the future as well. And I know we had a lot of speakers today. Everyone had so much to say. Maybe next time we need to split it into two so we can hear more from all of you. And so thank you for those who have waited, for your patience. How about Vandana? Let's welcome your thoughts on today.
Women's equality, or precisely gender equality, is number 5 in Sustainable Development Goals. So I would like to highlight that all the Sustainable Development Goals, there are 17 in total, they depend completely on achieved gender equality goal. If women are not equally participating or are not at forefront as leaders, advocates, activists, or in all the fields, it will be very difficult for all of us to achieve all the SDGs by 2030. So we are celebrating women today, but around us, especially in developing countries, there is a constant battle that every woman has to go through to achieve what she wants. A woman, when she dreams and she realizes that dream, she holds a vision, because that comes to her naturally. Women empowerment have been a revolution in itself, a war that was never fought or it was never seen. But still, this silent war has not reached its fair results. Everything needs to be prioritized, a level up. Women rights, laws, protection, education, financial independence, health choices, priorities. Women and girls themselves need to make their choices and realize their potential, as well as strengthen their demands and actions for their own socio-economic development. So this will also empower women to tackle pandemic crisis and strengthen climate change movement. So the meaningful participation of women and girls in climate action by shifting and sharing power, which excluded groups and people, is the need of our for the well-being of the world. And organizations, yes, coming on to them, they need to strengthen their policies towards women. We need more women leaders out here who bring out the very best in other women. So it's a collaborative and cooperative effort for the women, by the women. So when the women will be allowed to make decisions, then only gender parity will be promoted. So the crimes towards women, girls, and girls, they need to take a setback. Enforcement of strict laws to curb violence on women is required. And times have changed. We need to let go those traditions that we don't need now. The culture which caused negative impact on women equality in current scenario. So I think men definitely need to change their mindsets and make women an equal and critical stakeholder in everything. They need to adapt to the new world and accept that together it is better. So there is an urgent need to build the resilience of the women and girls in every society at all the levels to combat any crisis and ensure that women empowerment is not just only talked about, but has to be realized for sustainable tomorrow. So let's build a better and greener tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Vandana. I love the whole level up, right? We can all level up with our mindset, our actions every day in our lives, as mentioned by all of our participants. Go from big to something small, right? Mentioned by Preeti and Peter that the list goes on, but some of the heroes are simply next to us. And if we just recognize that, and together it is better, and we can appreciate each other's values instead of trying to compare just the differences. So thank you for waiting and also sharing your thoughts on today's topic. Let's welcome next Asma. What are your thoughts on today?
Thank you, Judy, for having me, and thank you, ICDAY, and Nunutun for invitation. I am honored to be with you all, beautiful ladies and wonderful dignitaries, to celebrate my day. And I think whatever I wanted to say, my fellow speakers already said it all. So I am going to keep it really brief. Uh, just to share my thoughts in few words. Uh, Breaking the bias, as is the theme of this year. When I started advocating feminism, the more I speak, the more I realize that speaking for women's rights has too often become synonymous with man hating. If there is one thing I know for certain, it has to be changed, because feminism, by definition, is the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities. So I think it's the theory of political and economical and social equality of the sexes. I started questioning gender-based assumptions when I was just only 10. I was confused at being called authoritative, as I wanted to take decision about my own life, but I was not allowed. My brothers were, they were appreciated rather. So this triggered me to stand up not only for my right, and to speak up for those young women and girls who can't speak for themselves. So I think as a woman, It's right to be paid equal as men paid. I think it is right. I should be able to take decision about my own body. I think it's right that women should be involved in policy making and decision making, and that decision will affect their lives. And I think that it is right that socially I am afforded the same respect as the men are expected. But uh, sadly, I can say that there is no one country in the world where all a woman can expect to receive all these rights. No country in the world can say yet that they have achieved gender equality. There is long way to go. Each year we gathered around and we talk, but I think by gathering around, there is a way of hope that yes, we are taking it more serious. And uh, for my understanding, I used to say that until governments are not understanding the relationship between gender equality, social equity, and climate change, then let me say that without gender equality today, sustainable future for tomorrow will be out of reach, as uh, Peter said, and our former, our previous speakers said, they said a lot about it. But I think that biased will be broken only when women as human being will be respected everywhere and treated equally in each office. Either they are sitting in the North Pole or sitting on the South Pole. So that's only my thoughts, and I think everyone, my few fellow speakers, already said so much. And again, I would say that happy Women's Day to all beautiful ladies. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you, Asma. And happy International Women's Day to the gentlemen too, for seeing the importance in this topic, and as you said, Asma, to the beautiful ladies. And we can promote change for climate action, which is deeply affecting all of us right now. We feel it through the natural disasters. Some of our countries are feeling it through the rising sea levels, and it's something that cannot wait. And I feel like it's something we can start with every steps and little things in our daily lives. So thank you for sharing almost at the end, but your patience is well appreciated. Next, we'd like to welcome the other Pretty. Hi. Thank you. I'd like to share your thoughts.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening from India. And thank you so much, Judy Lee. As we all know that gender equality is not only a fundamental right, but a necessary thing that we need for peace and prosperity and sustainable world. And before that, sorry, I would like to share one story of a woman I know. I know a woman who has dreams in her eyes. She struggled a lot for basic things like education. She got married at the age of 16 and had her first child at the age of 17. She struggled a lot with the situation and worked hard for her professional and personal development. She continued struggling with the situation, and she struggled a lot to take care of her children and gave them good education and values. She also took care of her children and gave them good values, and now she is a postgraduate in English and education subject, and today she is working as a teacher in school. And I would like to tell that girl, that woman is Preeti Kanthake, that is me. That means empowering every girl is not difficult if we start with ourselves. Empowering girl is a second thing, but if you can't help yourself, it is not possible to give a hand to others. I think empowering a woman around the world starts with me, with myself. Upgrading myself is most important for each and every girl. Think about your professional development, your personal development, and upgrade yourself with the technology, with the knowledge, with the education, with your rights, and with the laws and everything. If you know, then and then only you can give your hand to the other girls and other people around your world, around the world. And I come to know that as 70% of the people of the world live in rural area, and in rural area, more than 750 girls got married before the age of 18. And if we want to change the situation, we have to change ourselves. We have to start from ourselves. We still differentiate between girl and boy. We still grow them like, you are a girl, you don't do this. You are a girl, don't sit like that, don't wear these clothes, don't go there, don't laugh loudly. These things we have to stop. And until and unless we start growing a girl like a human, we can't change the situation. To change the situation, we have to give them opportunities. We have to create the chances for each and every girl. We have to respect her feelings. We have to respect her ideas, her thoughts, her dreams, and appreciate each and every girl if she is doing a small thing in her life. Don't compare with any of the person. Maybe she is a girl or a boy. Don't compare them with each other, because God has made them in different way, and each and every child has a different values, different different ideas and different qualities in them. We can empower each and every girl with the help of education, because education is the basic thing which we can give, and we can give them a hand. As many of the girls in rural area are struggling for the basic thing like education, clean water, food, and that is really a bad thing happening around the world. And to empower girls, we can give them opportunities to learn technology. As we all are now, panelists are working hard in our fields. Maybe we can empowering many of the people around the world. Maybe we are many of the people around the world are listening now. We are inspiring each other. We are inspiring many of the ladies around the world and people around the world. So we can start from now. We can empower people around us. If there is any girl who really need a hand, we can give them a hand, and we can give her a lifetime opportunity to change her life. These simple things can change our situation. And I would like to today, on the occasion of the International Women's Day, I would like to tell that if we start from ourselves, and if we do something each and every day, we can change this world, and we can go to the sustainable world around in 2030, as we have decided to go. And on this occasion, I would like to sing few lines, not only for the girls, but for all of us, that we shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Preeti. And I do believe we will become someday. And all of our speakers here, we're coming to the end. We have one more speaker, but since we are all here with our cameras on, and as Preeti mentioned, all the viewers, we hope to connect and reach you. Can I invite you to share your heart with all of our friends around the world? We are here to support you. Show your love. I think it's the first time we have everyone with their cameras on. Perfect opportunity. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. And it's a very special time in the world right now, and Dr. Han, Taijimen Qigong Academy, has specially sent in a new prayer for peace to share with all of you, and I'll be sharing with all of the speakers and all of you viewers in just a little bit as we go hand over to Monia for the last speech for today, and we'll go straight into the prayer that we all need around the world. So welcome, Monia.
Thank you so much. Thank you to give me this opportunity. Malala said, one book plus one teacher plus one pen plus one student can change the world. I say a woman plus an opportunity can change the world. I will share with you Arabic woman culture, because today I am here. I am the voice of other women can't be here. I am the voice of many rural women because I was a rural girl and my mom don't go to the school because of our culture and our tradition. Only boys who go to school. For this reason, mom said, I have to send my girl to the school. I have a dream. I am sure that my girl will change and will change the idea. So this girl is today a teacher, is today a global connected educator, and is today talking with many people around the world. So in our Arabic culture, unfortunately, woman is a super hero or is a superwoman. She has to do all homeworks and she has to take care of children. And always she has to work to help her husband for economic reasons. And in our country, Arabic countries, unfortunately, when a man wants to win a parliament place or a political grade, he will talk about women's rights, but these rights are only on papers and are only on TV speeches. And in reality, me as a teacher, I suffer from gender inequality. So I have no to travel only. I have to travel with a man. I have no to go alone at night. Really, we have to change these ideas. We have to change this culture. And together, we are a team. Together, everyone achieves more. Give us a chance. Give us an opportunity. And we will show to the world we can do it. We can change the world. For this reason, I am Teach SDGs ambassador. And always, every session in my school and with my colleagues, I try to give opportunities to my children, to special girls. I try to give opportunities to my colleagues. I remember that today, one of my colleagues said to me, please, Monia, go and share my voice. Go in my place, I can't go. In my country, there are many inspiring women, many hard worker women, especially in my rural zone, women who are not educated. They work hard in agriculture domain, and they suffer from these difficult activities. They have to we have to listen their voices and to listen to them, and we have to try to change this reality. I am very happy to share with you my ideas and my opinion, and we can do it. We can change the world together. Thank you so much for you.
Thank you, Monia.
This opportunity.
The biggest thing I noticed with you is thank you for the biggest smile ever. You know, Monia was actually the first person or one of the first people to be online, and she had that smile from beginning to end, waiting patiently for her turn to share her thoughts. And so thank you for being here. And as you were speaking, talked about I have a dream, and it just reminded me of the song, You may say I'm a dreamer, right? So we can all imagine living in peace. It's morning for me, night for some people some of our speakers. With these thoughts in mind, I feel I can go into this day with a lot of reminders of how to practice peace in my day, taking that further in these achievements or initiatives that we're doing together here. And for those of you who are going to bed, hopefully you sleep very well. And as I mentioned, thank you all so much for being online for a little bit longer than expected for today's panel. The wonderful ideas around the world, whether it's from values every day of our lives to policies that can be proceeded. So, and again, thank you for your excellencies representing the different countries for Nigeria and Dominican Republic. Welcome, thank you for joining us. And now we like to send our prayers around the world through this beautiful song, as also as a thank you to all of our speakers for joining us. So a little wave goodbye to our viewers, but our program will continue with this beautiful song. Please enjoy the prayer of peace.
Let us illuminate our inner lights, calm our hearts and pray for the world. May heaven have mercy on its children and allow them to return to the arms of love. Put down the weapon of hatred while praying sincerely for the world. We hear the call of our conscience, my brothers and sisters who are also suffering. I'm praying for may there be no more flame of conflict and no more war. May our wishes for peace come true. May the light of hope arrive. Let us use love to relieve all our fear and pain with confidence and courage. People will rebuild their homes. We are grateful today that you and I are moving forward together. Praying for the world and singing peaceful songs to warm people's hearts. Smile from your heart, love yourselves and the people of the world. With selfless true love, we are awakening people's conscience. Let us consolidate all kind thoughts, apply all
So a beautiful prayer for peace from Taijimen Qigong Academy. Dr. Hong, who cares deeply, like all of you, for the peace and love around the world, has been in contact with the leaders around the world, inviting leaders to lead their country with conscience, love, and peace. And any single kind thought we can have can lead people of the world to a bright future. And Dr. Hong also mentions that as we return to the original, the origin of our hearts, you can feel it deep within you, that feeling of content and gratefulness, self-reflection, and we allow the innate warmth and compassion to activate the power of love and conscience to create peace and restore a peaceful world. So with all of that, all of our good energy, we will continue to make an effort. Thank you all so much for our panelists once again for joining us. And as we come to close to the end of the program, we have a few more video messages and we will present those now. But thank you once again for joining us, speakers from around the world, our dear friends. Thank you, and please enjoy these video messages.
Earth, our only home. Invaluable, but not invulnerable. Are we too late to save it? Climate change is making our world more dangerous, more fragile, more unequal. In these uncertain times, women and girls face a disproportionate threat of displacement, poverty, and violence. But women and girls are also a powerful force in climate action. As innovators in green energy, as defenders of the environment, and as educators of our generation and the next. Gender equality is not just a woman's issue. It's the path to our survival. So it's not too late to invest in climate action by and for women. Not too late to empower women entrepreneurs and decision makers at home. Not too late to give voice and power to this next generation of Earth's champions. It's not too late to demand commitments to build an equal and enduring future for all. Championing climate action by and for women and girls is the key to saving our planet. Join the fight for gender equality today, so that together we can create a sustainable tomorrow. It's not too late.
That was a special message video from the United Nations UN Women. And next for our videos that we have received around the world in support of International Women's Day. Let's welcome these video messages.
Greetings from Greece. I'm Rania Lampu. I'm a global STEM educator and I'm working at the Greek Ministry of Education at the Directorate of Educational Technology and Innovation. Today it's International Women's Day. Half of the Earth's population is made up by women. By not recognizing the potential and the abilities of women, the world is divided and it cannot operate as a whole. Creating civilizations evolve through dialogue and participation. Men and women are equal, although they look and act in a different way. These differences is what makes the Earth a more interesting place that can support the evolution of everybody. We need to reimagine a more sustainable world in which gender equality is a key element and provide powerful tools to enable women's empowerment. Let's celebrate Women's Day today and every day. It may be one of the most important days in the year. Thank you very much. Bye.
esperes a que todo cambie, sigue avanzando, ve adelante y triunfarás.
El rumbo tú ahora lo defines, la realidad lo que persigues. Hazlo ya.
Recuerda que lo has hecho tantas veces. Despierta, es el momento de vivir.
Y vence todo aquello que detenga
la enérgica guerrera que hay en ti.
Transfórmate, eres mujer.
No te detengas, hoy hay mucho por hacer. Transfórmate, renuévate.
En cada día nace un nuevo amanecer,
pues tu rostro tiene brillo de mujer.
la vida regala sonrisas.
No la dejes pasar deprisa.
Sonríeme.
Visita distintos lugares,
Descúbrelos y ahí no pares.
Que aún hay más.
transfórmate, eres mujer.
No te detengas, hoy hay mucho por hacer. Transfórmate, renuévate.
En cada día nace un nuevo amanecer,
Pues tu rostro tiene brillo de mujer.
Pues tu rostro
tiene brillo
de mujer.
Hi, my name is Azra Tachizi, English language teacher from Iran. Over the past few years, we have watched how women's stories have been critical to make meaningful change. Women are speaking up and the world is listening. We are all in this together, no race, no color, just peace for our stories. Women can spark action and make meaningful change. Women smartly speak up among many voices. They share the power of global peace and sisterhood in everywhere. My story is being a strong woman, to share my knowledge in the globalization of thoughts in education, to change impossible difficult situations to creative, smart solutions in every difficult situation. As a teacher, I look opportunities to share and spread kindness, because the kindness language is the same for all. Human beauty's spirit, increasing the effects of good deeds by helping young women to achieve their self-confidence by teaching them English. To teach first of all, there is no differences in colors, races, cultures if they try to understand our community rights and be aware of inclusiveness of all cultures and their gender equality. It makes them motivated to together can learn more in their lifelong learning journey. Happy International Women's Day.
Dear friends, beloved people, dear Paul community and Dr. Hong, and all the divine human beings. Greetings from Siberia and Russia. My name is Nina Goncharova, and I represent the growing team of awakened people who realize deeply what is happening now and why. And so it is so crucial and important now to know that for Paul constantly spreads positive information, positive visions and actions to enter a new path of humanity. And I would love to share my contribution to the International Day of Women. Recently, I was inspired by one great picture indicating to my mind a true role of every woman. And I wrote a poem, and please enjoy both the painting and the poem as our gift from Russia and Siberia. I love you. A woman is coming from heaven to make paradise on earth. She knows her path, endeavor, love to be spread in the universe. Who are you? Why are you here? Is it clear as transparent ice? The woman has come, my dear, to bring the fire from Christ. She looks with her eyes of love, hearing heart's silent call, to bring the message from above, refining your heart beyond all, to see the script divine. Awakened people elevate. You are in the image and mine, beloved Son, to live and to create. Pink is the hopeful color, flowing gently on earth. Marvelous love city hollow comes down from universe.
Vanakkam, this is AMP Dr. Sundarapriya MP, International Director of Operations in TBC International Environment. I am very much happy to taking part of the Day of Conscience International Women's Day 2022. On my side, I welcome you all participated for that wonderful day to celebrate inspiring women in entire world. Happy Women's Day to all wonderful women on the earth. First thing, I appreciate myself as a woman from the common middle class family to become an international director of operations in international NGO. Because no one knows the destiny, but everyone tries to do something big in that span of life with hard obstacles. The day focuses the achievers, but at the same time, we want to support the woman while affected from the society. Empower the woman in all aspects means financially, independently, effectively, responsibly, innovatively, technically, and also feel freely to become a woman. That is real empowerment for women. One more thing is gender equality. Women can participate of all fields of activities equaling to men. But the treating of women is not fair by men. That is inequality. everyone did the same, but the recognition slight differences by men. Same time, the vacancy filling also one-third majority to men and women, that it might be changed. The equality begin in 50-50 filling vacancies in all fields, in industries, political and cultural state. That is real gender equality. Thank you very much for the wonderful opportunity. Thank you all participated today. Thank you ICDAY and thank you Madam Nunu Toon. Special thanks to MB Dr. B.M. Weiss, founder and CEO TBC International Environment. Thank you with regards MB Dr. Sundarapriya MP.
Hello, my dear artist friends. Greetings from Oksana Yakimova-Stefan, a visual artist from Germany and Belarus. Today, I stay here in my gallery, Green Tree R2, and saying you all the best and congratulate you with the International Women's Day. At present, my friends from all over the world and me show and dedicate our paintings, especially to you, to women with breast cancer. The beautiness of the pictures, I hope, will motivate you to continue fighting. All the best to you with love and peace. Greetings from Oksana Yakimova and Green Tree.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Salam from Pakistan. Thanks to Fopal and respected Nunu Toon, who always arrange such great events by UN as today, World Women's Day, celebrating on 8th March, and globally, the day of the social economic status, their culture and political achievement. So we have need to think differently about how to recognize women's achievements and actions for equality. How do we efforts to improve their struggle, to improve society and to improve their lives? Women are important figure of the society, related to any society, any race, any color, and caste and creed, border, religion, ethnicity, beliefs, or sect. Women are women, and the color of wife, and the color of daughter, and the color of sister and mother. God rewarded her with great gift, as in Holy Book, named a verse with her name, Anisa, and a verse on she conversed with her husband, and gifted with inheritance from the relatives, and made her the peace of her husband. And she is the color of the world. Mentioned many stories about women in Holy Book, like Isa's mother, Maryam's story of two daughters of Prophet Shuaib in Madian, Queen Asiya, Queen Bilqis, and when Prophet Sulaiman invites her in his kingdom, and Aziz's wife, Queen Zulaikha, and the mother of his sister and Musa, and women in Pharaoh's palace, and women Muslims, and Mother Eva's story, and Noah's wife's story, Prophet Yusuf's wife, women who cut their hands, Abraham's wife Hajira and her sacrifices, and Prophet Lut's daughter. It means a lot that women have status in every religion, every society of the world. Their status is not hidden even in history. So giving them the right of inheritance, right of education, right of speech, right of delivering education, traveling, trade, and worship and respect. Prophet, peace be upon him, said, the better of you who is the best with their wives, and ask if you have your daughters and you raise them good, you will reward it afterward. Even when women gave birth to the baby, God rewarded her with paradise under her feet as a gift of the pain that she gained. If we see the efforts women are putting to make the society better, we can see youth activist women now working prominently, and they are changing the future. Yes, we see in the climate change 17-year-old Greta Thunberg, 11-year-old Marielle dies for cultural diversity, Isra Harris for Safe Future, Jalen Charger for mental health, Jazz Jennings for Purple Ribbon, Abigail Lopi for Girls Organization, Sophie Cruz for Struggle Teenager, Parma Jaggi, young Malaysian minister, Malala Yousafzai, and many others girls are changing the world. So we should make efforts to make the world paradise with the love of humanity and conscious to spread awareness to equality, love, and peace. Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Peter Jam. It's the Women's Rights Day. I am humbled and also have the honor to be the only male speaker in this CSW UN live panel discussion conference, the Commission on the Status of Women, to talk about gender equality and women empowerment. Between all these amazing women leaders for the Women's Rights Day, Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. New York time, 3 p.m. GMT. See you there. Peace.
Thank you all for joining us for a beautiful celebration of International Women's Day. We hope you have enjoyed all of the speeches from today, all the videos, and most importantly, sending our best wishes and prayers for the world, as the world right now needs all of our kind thoughts and our love, and to promote the peace. And let us continue to promote equality today for sustainable tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. We hope you will join us again very soon on March 20th as we celebrate International Day of Happiness. It will be at the same time, and we celebrate happiness and well-being for all people around the world. Thank you once again. We'll see you next time. Bye.